Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to decode a secret to telling better stories. And that's the ability to report what other people said clearly and powerfully. Take a look at these two sentences. See how they say the exact same thing, but in totally different ways? Today, we're going to master that transformation. And trust me, it's a skill that will absolutely upgrade how you tell your stories. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the basics, then get into the one golden rule you have to know, tackle some trickier situations, and finally put it all together. Sound good? Let's dive in. Okay, first things first. Let's get really clear on the two main tools we have in our kit for telling a story that someone else started. So, direct speech. You can think of this like a recording. It is the original audio, word for word, wrapped up neatly inside quotation marks. It's pure, it's unfiltered. And then you've got indirect speech. This is more like a summary. You're giving us the gist, the core message, but you're saying it in your own words, so no quotation marks needed here. And now for the most crucial rule of them all. I like to call it the tense time machine, because once you get this one concept, everything else just clicks right into place. Here's how it works. When you report something someone said, you're usually talking about it after the fact. It's in the past, right? So it just makes sense that the verb has to take a little trip back in time to reflect that. It's a pretty logical shift. And this right here, this is basically your cheat sheet for that time machine. You can see the pattern, right? Every tense takes one step back. Present moves to past, past shifts to past perfect. Even words like will and can get a little nudge back to become would and could. It's super consistent. Let's see it in action. So, a simple present verb like work just travels one step back to become worked. It's as simple as that. And check it out. The same thing works for the future. I will, which is a promise about what's to come, becomes she would when we report it. That time shift is perfectly consistent. All right, you've totally mastered the time-traveling verbs. Now, let's handle the smaller but just as important details. Those little words that point to specific people, places, and times. This is all about perspective. I mean, when you're the one telling the story, the original speaker's I isn't you anymore, right? So it naturally has to become he or she. Their my becomes his or her. And the exact same logic applies to time and place. The speaker's today might have been last Tuesday for you. Their here is now your there. Since you're reporting from a different point in time, these little pointer words have to get updated to match. So this all builds into a really simple, repeatable process. For any sentence, you just follow these three steps. First, change the pronoun. Second, backshift the verb tense. And third, update any of those time or place words. That's the formula right there. Okay, so you've got the standard sentences down. It's time to level up and tackle a couple of special missions. Reporting questions and commands. So what do you do with a direct question like this, complete with a question mark? How do you report that information smoothly without making it a question all over again? Well, the trick is to just transform the question into a normal statement. You see how the verb was just moves to the end of the sentence? The original question word where now acts as a connector. No question mark needed. Simple. And you know what? Commands are even more straightforward. All you do is take the main verb from the command and just add the word to in front of it. So sit down becomes to sit down. It's that easy. Before we finish up, I want to clear up a very common mistake that trips up a lot of people, and that's knowing when to use the verb say versus when to use tell. The whole difference comes down to one simple thing, the listener. If you name the person being spoken to, you have to use tell. For example, he told me. But if you don't mention who they're talking to, you use say, as in he said he was tired. That's the only rule you need to know. Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's just consolidate everything into one final checklist for your newly upgraded communication toolkit. Think of this as your final mission debrief. Just 4 rules to check every single time. Change the pronouns, backshift the tense, update the pointer words, and drop those quotation marks. Master these 4, and you have absolutely mastered indirect speech. So, you see, this isn't just about some stuffy old grammar rule. It's a fundamental storytelling tool. Now that you've got it in your toolkit, think about how you can use it to make your writing, your reports, even just your daily conversations more dynamic and clear. So what stories will you tell?